All right, so we're looking at Disney. They have earnings tomorrow. I'm just trying to understand this better. So it's not really to make money, it's to better understand. Again, IV. So they have earnings tomorrow. Um, I don't know. Let's see. Earnings before market tomorrow. So if we look at, all right, so if we look at the chart, let's see, what do we even see here? All right, so right now we're on the daily. Let me get rid of some of this noise here. All right, so we have a gap to fill back at the end of July, it seems. It did great today, but the market fell yesterday, so everything's kind of looking great because of most things have gone between, 3 and, well, 2 and 10% back up because of the fall we had yesterday. Um, let's see, what else do we see? I know that it needs to go back in the box eventually. We have another gap to fill over 100 back over here in May. But let's see. Earnings, they've been doing pretty okay, it seems. All the earnings are green. But when they have earnings, okay, yeah, so we have gap ups when they have earnings. So they very well could do great with earnings because they haven't done the worst. But this last earnings is where they kind of started, fumbling a little bit. What is this? Oh, they had a dividend. Yeah, so they started dropping a little bit after the last earnings. So this earnings could be an indication they go down more. So I'm looking at just like overall activity. A lot of activity, obviously. See now the IV is 43%. So that's worth noting. So if we go to calls, all right, so a lot of people think it's gonna go well. Heavy investments. And then it gets kind of light. So a lot of people are just playing earnings, it seems. All right, so let's look at puts. So people don't really have much to say for later in the year. But I noticed this. This is probably the most volume that's come in for something with already high OI. People think this is going to drop in September to $80, which I got to look at. All right, so Disney is under the 20 SMA, under the 5 SMA, and the 10 E. I'm sorry, it's under the 20 SMA, and it's under. No, it's not under the 5 EMA, but it is under the 10 EMA. So those numbers usually have to align, which it seems that they are. They have to be in order. If that's usually like a bearish signal when they are aligned. The MACD is crossing over. It already crossed over. The RSI, it hit the 30, and it's been kind of cold. Like the last week in July, it was, it was super cold. It was like 20, 22. So the RSI looks like it's trying to head back up. MACD's a little sideways. So I feel like Disney could do good on earnings, but the way that this volume is in the future lets me know that it could be one of those like, oh, it does great, but it eventually still kind of falls off. So this is all guesstimate because I'm just trying to understand this, right? I want to understand, is this number going to drop? Is it going to go up? That's really what we're trying to understand. If we go back here. So yeah, here we go. So 105. So people, I'm glad I looked at this. So people are liking it at 105. Look at that spread. That's interesting too. Also, IV very low. So yeah, I just want to understand this. I want to understand this a little bit better. So we got kind of this. They don't really know. They're like, yeah, it could run. No, it could drop. They don't really know. But obviously, not a lot of volume. See, the strike numbers are spread out. There's no double digit here. So that's interesting. Like, this should say on any of this, we should be at 10,000 volume. Should be at 10,000 OI, and we don't have that. Just strange. I wonder why. But we don't have it for this either, though. Yeah, see, we don't really have like a lot of noise for either one. Interesting. But yeah, the spreads are kind of wide too. I guess we'll see. But I took the puts to understand it, even though we just found a call.